This weekend, I made $450 detailing cars. Now, most people would probably spend it, but I'm going to do something a little different. In this video, I'm going to explain how I earned it, what it actually cost me, and where every dollar is going. If you are new here and haven't seen any of my videos before, I'm documenting my journey to financial freedom while working a full-time job as a wind technician and also building a detailing business on the weekends. So this weekend, I only had two cars. I had one Saturday and one Sunday, but with a one-man crew, it pretty much filled up my weekend. So on Saturday, I detailed a Lexus IS 350 F Sport, and it's the first Lexus I've ever detailed and probably one of my most favorite details. Then on Sunday, I detailed this GMC Denali 2500. Now, diesel truck. I love detailing these nice GMC trucks. I feel like the plastic always cleans up nice carpet, and these trucks always look flawless when we're done, no matter how bad it is. So those were the two vehicles I did this weekend. Now, the Lexus was a return customer from someone who I had the previous weekend. So he just said, "Hey, next weekend can get me in with this Lexus." I said, "Of course." And then the GMC was actually my girlfriend's grandparents. So they've been wanting me to get their truck in for a while. So I said, "Hey, this weekend I'm free." And both of them I did a wash, a spray sealant. So with the soap, I just spray on. It's a quick little Kosh Chemi makes a really nice spray sealant. So that was my wash wax. Then I also did an interior detail. And then on the Lexus, I also had some extra time, so I put on a not a foaming sealant, but an actual spray sealant onto the towel. That sounds a little confusing, but yeah. Each one took roughly about 7 hours or so, and again, with one guy, it usually takes me about an hour and a half, and then the rest of the time is with the interior. Now, the truck was not bad at all. It was pretty straightforward, and it wasn't fairly dirty at all. But, just washing those bigger trucks usually takes a little bit. But I had some weird issues with the Lexus. Now, in the back, I'm assuming they had dogs because there was it looked like water spots on the seats all over the doors, and I'll show some videos here. But also too, there was stuff on the windows, and it looked just like, I don't know how to describe it, like a haze. So I thought, I have this really strong chemical from Kosh Chemi, which is the Ulex. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, it stinks. It's really really strong, so you have to be careful with it. So I tried it on these spots, didn't take them out. So that was weird. I spent a lot of time on the Lexus. I think if I didn't mess with those spots for so long, I could have definitely had a better hourly rate, and I could have got it done quicker. But like I said, I'd rather take my time and, you know, explain to the customer that I took my time and I wasn't able to get it out, rather than them be mad and expect me, and I didn't actually take the time to do it. Now, this is the first time this is one of the first sportier cars I've did. So after I went and picked up this Lexus, and as I was driving it back, they live in a really cool area outside of our town where they live on a nice road. The road back into town is really hilly. It's a nice smooth road, so it's like perfect to drive fast on. But so I wanted to put that thing in sport mode, but I didn't. That's obviously probably not the smart thing to do, but man, like the cool bucket seats, and it was pretty sweet. I was excited when I first picked it up. So next thing I want to discuss is kind of get into more of the numbers and the details and how much money I made, how much time each one took. So first, I want to go over the Lexus. Now, the Lexus, the service I did, like I said, was the wash, wax, and interior, and that total came out to $220. Now, I priced that based off, usually the outside will stay the same no matter what every time, and I try to shoot for a minimum of $100 for the exterior. And then the interior usually can range from 120 to 160 depending on how bad it is, how long it takes, like if there's pet hair, if there's lots of stains, stuff like that. So like I said, for this Lexus, $100 for the exterior, $120 for the interior. It wasn't too bad, so total came to $220. I also note they paid with a check, so I can backtrack that too to remember when I deposited it, stuff like that. In total, it took me 7 hours. Like I said, I definitely could have got that down to maybe 5.5, 6 hours. After 7 hours, the hourly total, that rate comes to $31.43 an hour. Now, My initial reaction to this, I don't really like the 31 an hour. Not bad, but in order for this to be a full-time operation, this is going to need to be, I believe, 50, 45 at the very least, but 50 an hour. So for this being a side business for me, I'm not mad at 31 an hour, but I definitely think that could improve. CAC, I do the customer acquisition cost. Now this is a return customer, so 0. Now my gas and travel. So fortunately, I have a newer Toyota Camry that is a hybrid, so I get really good gas mileage. So I picked it up and stuff for them. Ended up coming to 53 cents I spent on gas. So not much of a deduction there, and then I take 30% from it for taxes just to be safe, so that total came out to 66. Now let's go over the GMC from Sunday. Same service, wash, wax, interior. This being, with this truck being a little bigger, being taller, more surface area to cover, obviously. Charge a little more, charge $130 for the interior, so that came to $230. They also paid with a check. Took me 7 hours. Like I said, this truck wasn't bad. I also think I could have hunkered down in. No, I was pretty busy for this one. I don't remember really slacking off much, so I think 7, maybe 6.5 hours if I really lock in, but that's probably my max. Again, 32 an hour. Like, it's the same thing as the last time. If this is going to be a full-time business, I got to be at 50. 45, 50, and that's just me increasing my ticket price. $230 is more on the lower end, I feel, for the work I do, but like I said, that's a problem to get into another time. This is another return customer, and I traveled 32 miles this time, which comes to whopping $2.67 on gas. So again, I mean, Toyota Camry, so. And then for taxes, 30%, $69. So that means for the whole weekend, our total profit was, shoot, I need to do revenue. Hold on one second. So I totally forgot to put our total revenue into the spreadsheet, but our total revenue before any expenses came to $450. So overall, not a bad weekend, solo job, so that's a pretty good chunk of money I'm willing to take. Now, after taking out the $135 in taxes, we are left with a total profit of $315. Now, with that $315, what I would really like to do is go buy an F1 Lego set from Target. The brand new big F1 sets, but no, we should probably do something a little smarter with that. So what I do is I'm going to split that profit up 50-50. So 50-50 from that 315, it's an uneven weird number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reinvest 160 into the business. Now I actually need to put a Amazon order in here soon for chemicals. So I think that has polish on it, some scents, some more chemicals, some more equipment. Like I need new Scrub Ninjas, stuff like that. So 160 is going back into the business, and that leaves 155 for me to take home. And after looking back, getting 450, 155 is not really much, but hey, we're trying to grow and build this business here, so I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Now, to get into what I'm going to personally do with my share of the money is what I'm going to do is put it into a low-cost growth index fund. Now, you're like, whoa, that sounds really exciting. It's actually pretty boring. I'm going to be putting it into VOO. At the end here, for the ending, I want to make a graphic, and I want to put this at the end of every one of my videos. I'm going to try to do my current net worth, the amount I have invested, my current business revenue this month, my YouTube subscribers, and my next goal. So, next goal is pretty vague, but I think I'm going to do my next, probably subscriber goal. So, I'll put that in there, and then, but yeah, also too, if this is a little confusing, I apologize, but I'm filming this a couple weekends after I actually detailed these cars, just because I put it off and didn't get around to it. So, But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you, and I appreciate it. Like I said, the end goal of this channel is to tie together my journey to financial freedom, and detailing on the weekends happens to be my main one of my biggest levers towards that. So if you made it this far, I thank you, appreciate it, and any constructive criticism would be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you.